Okay, so now that you've heard about conventions, I want to talk to you about the meetings, the actual meetings. So this is where we would go into a home setting, and they were called meetings. And this was instead of church because church buildings were for religious. It was like a huge no-no. Like even to talk with other religious people was like you just wanted to avoid them at all costs. It was like us versus them mentality all the time. Like, we know the only truth, that kind of thing. I'd read the verses, the Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, but I really could not reconcile that with like the actual cult itself. Like the system was the truth, not Jesus. So that was interesting. So in the meetings, so you would, growing up, it was typically at my grandparents' house, and it still is there. And I lived in a very small town, so a lot of the people that came was like a lot of family, and then some people that I knew for my whole life, basically, right? Because they would just come to the meetings. But I really did not see that meeting grow with new members, that kind of thing. And so in the meeting, you would walk in, it'd be very, very reverent, very quiet. You would come in very silent, put your coat, hook it wherever, and then go in and sit down, and then you would wait and wait until 10 a.m. And then the elder of the meeting, which was my grandpa, he would start the meeting, and then you would sing a hymn, like somebody would choose a hymn, and then after that was prayer time, and then everybody in the circle, like whoever wanted to go first, and then it would just go to the last person. You needed to be professing for that as well, so that means that you stood up at the convention and gave your life to Jesus. But basically that was for me, but for others I think it was more like, okay, I'm committing myself to the 2x2 way. I mean, I guess in some ways it was like that for me, but it definitely felt more personal, giving my life to Jesus. So anyways, in the meeting after that, then there would be time for another hymn, and then you would do testimonies. And this was my least favorite part. I was professing since I was like 5 years old, so I had to stand up all the time 2 times a week, to Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings, and give a testimony, basically thinking throughout the week about like some Bible verse or some thought that I could spiritualize. And so you would have to speak in the meeting about that. And like, it would be so awkward and so weird because people around you, like, I just remember as a kid, everyone would be silent, like silent. And then somebody else in the meeting, they would be like, amen, amen. like what they said was so much better than mine. You know what I mean? So it created competitiveness a bit too, and just like being fake. So that wasn't good at all.